Hi, Merry Christmas and seasonal greetings to you all. I really hope you're all doing well and I hope you guys have a great 2024. But I'm here to report a few things that have happened over the weekend or over the holidays. First thing, Bitcoin became legal tender in Argentina. And the SEC gave a new deadline to the applicants that wish to have their Bitcoin ETF approved between the 5th and the 10th of January next year. And that deadline is December 29. Zelensky admits that Ukraine does not have enough soldiers and he's taking some extreme measures. But I also want to share with you guys some accusations that he has received. Many of them I have ignored for the past year. And one of them I feel like not ignoring and sharing with you guys. He's been accused of buying 2 yachts on the value of $70 million. I kid you not. These are the things we're going to be covering in today's video. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the video of today. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday last week, Javier Milei pushed several reforms, 300 reforms. I'm not going to cover all of them to you guys here, but one that becomes really relevant to us is the fact that Javier Milei made legal for any contract between two parties to be in any currency, meaning the contracts for rent, any contract at all, automobile, car rental, any deal between two parties voluntarily can be done in any currency. You can rent a house on Bitcoin and have the contract written on Bitcoin or dollar, any currency. There's no restriction on which currency contracts can be made in Argentina. And of course, that means Bitcoins and any other currency. People can make a contract in gold. It doesn't matter. People are free to engage into whatever interaction and any contract under any unit of account. That is what he did. There's a lot of other measurements that he has taken, but this is the one that I find most significant. And a few other things that he has done. He has prepared for all state-owned companies to be privatized. He also wants to deregulate the entire economy in Argentina. And of course, once he allows for any contract to be made in any currency, the Argentinian peso plummet. This is one another way in which he can close the central bank. Because if the currency becomes valueless and nobody uses, it doesn't matter what the central bank does. So this is one step on the right direction in which he can close the central bank. Now, it's important to understand that he pushes this using a power that allows him to push certain things to remain legal as law until further being approved or not approved by the Congress or the Parliament. Now, these laws may not be approved. And if they are not approved, then everything is going to be revoked and it's going to be chaotic in Argentina. My bet is he may have a plan to convince the Congress to help him and to endorse these laws. Also, if he gets the popular support, meaning if the population agree with this, it's going to be very difficult for the Congress not to approve. I don't know what to think. I'm not in Argentina. If you're in Argentina, please let me know what the chances are for these things to be approved in the future and become official laws in Argentina. That's a question that I have you for the audience. Please let me know that on the comments below. The SEC set a new deadline for updates on the applications for the Bitcoin ETF, and that deadline is December 29. Whatever updates are not filled up by December 29 may not be approved between the 5th and the 10th of January. If companies want to have the approval, they must submit all the updates by December 29. And you can see here, according to the report, the SEC officials met on December 21st with representatives at the last 7 firms hoping to launch a spot Bitcoin ETFs in early 2024, meaning between the 5th and the 10th of January. Attendees of those meetings include representatives from BlackRock, Grayscale Investments, ARK Investment, and 21 Shares. But those are not the only ones. Look, regulators reportedly told attendees at the meetings that any issuer that doesn't meet the December 29 deadline will not be part of the first wave of potential spot Bitcoin ETF approvals in early January. Now, one of the requirements is for the applicants to list their AP. Now, by AP, they mean authorized applicants, meaning banks and other financial institutions that may be authorized to sell their ETFs. All of that has to be listed on their update and it has to be met by December 29. We can see here Despite multiple firms moving forward to the last minute updates for their spot Bitcoin ETFs, Bloomberg analysts are still confident the SEC will have approved the first Bitcoin ETF by January 10th. Now, here we have the list. There are more than 7 companies. We have Grayscale, we have ARK21 shares, we have iShares, we have Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco Galaxy, Wise Origin Bitcoin, Valkyrie Bitcoin, Global X Bitcoin Trust, Hashdex, Franklin Bitcoin, Pando Bitcoin, and several RCC Spot Bitcoin. Those are the companies that have applied, and they now have to come up with their updates and submit all of that by December 29. Now, the market is betting on approval between the 5th and the 10th of January. What is your bet? Do you believe those Bitcoin would be approved, or the SEC is going to pull another trick up the sleeve and push that to further? I think if they do that, the price of Bitcoin may go down, because it seems like the market already priced in the approval of these ETFs. And as I shoot this video, the Bitcoin price right now, it is precisely $43,559 US. Now, since we're talking about Bitcoin ETF, according to Arthur Reyes, the ETF could completely destroy Bitcoin. Look at this article. And his argument is, if the institutions and everyone is buying Bitcoin ETFs, guess what? There is no need for transactions on layer 1. No transactions on layer 1 means no transaction fees, no need for miners. Because if everyone is going to be transacting ETFs, there's no demand on the layer 1. At least this is Arthur Hayes' view. I don't fully agree with him. I see his point. I do not see ETFs actually diminishing the demand for miners. We still have ordinals, and we still have a lot of Bitcoiners who do abide by the 2 rules of the crypto space. First rule, not your keys, not your coins. True Bitcoiners, early adopters, and those who are better educated will not buy ETF. ETF, to me, is only something that has a role for institutional investors, and I do not agree with Arthur Hayes, but time will tell which one of us are right on this point. Now, let's talk about Zelensky. Zelensky admits that Ukraine does not have enough soldiers. He needs 500,000 soldiers. That means 500,000 soldiers, which is not available in Ukraine. And he's asking other countries to extradite Ukrainians between a certain age, because of course the workforce of Ukraine had fled the country because of the war. Some people have just left the country and they're now refugees in other places such as Europe. Now Zelensky is asking European countries to extradite male Ukrainians that are between certain age so he can have enough soldiers. And the reason is not just soldiers. According to his calculation, for each soldier on the battlefield, they need 16 employees, which means for each soldier, 16 more people. So each soldier should have had a total of 17 people. Now, he's not going to be able to get that amount of people without the help from the West. And he has done things which are a bit questionable. He actually decided to change the Ukrainian Christmas. Now, the Ukraine population has been Orthodox, and the Orthodox Church does not celebrate Christmas on the same day, meaning the 25th of December doesn't have any meaning for those who are Orthodox. And because Zelensky wants to send a message that Ukraine is now more connected to the West, he's changing the holiday. And not only that, as you guys know, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries on the European continent. There is one accusation that I'm looking at it since the beginning of December, and it's the accusation of him buying 2 yachts. Now, of course, if he buys 2 yachts on his name, that would be very obvious. But the thing is, 2 yachts were bought within a few days between the 2 purchases by 2 of Zelensky's friends. And how do we know they are friends? Because of pictures such as this. Now, those 2 guys on those pictures, they each bought 2 yachts, one on the value of 49 million, the other one on the value of 25 or 24 million. Adding all together plus taxes, you have a round up number of $75 million invested in 2 yachts. Now, I am not saying those accusations are true, but they seem to be relevant. So I'm sharing this with you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you have any further evidence for those purchases. Somehow, I'm not surprised that he may be making money by this war. After all, war is a way to make money because you push money towards the war, and of course the more money coming to Ukraine, the country being corrupt, of course I will not be surprised if that's true. So this is it for now. So like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and see you guys on the next video.
Kaboom. Goodbye.